Batman number 48, Tom King writing, Mikhail Janin on the art. This is the Best Man two-parter before we get to the wedding. Or is the wedding issue technically the final part of this? I'm not sure, depending on how they count it. I feel like the wedding issue will be just like a one-shot, essentially, of the wedding itself.
Yeah.
So, Joker has killed everyone in a church, in a cathedral, basically as a way to draw out Batman, because he wants to talk to him about the fact that he may or may not be the best man. That's what this issue is. Because we start the issue with someone praying, and Joker just shoots him from behind after because it got to a point. This is one of these pages where
so brutal.
It looks like a lot of text, and I start reading it and go, "Oh wait, it doesn't actually matter if I read all this. This is just the point is the guy's praying." I'm just gonna skim it. Yeah. And then he gets shot, and I love it's one of these weird meta things, but I buy it from Joker where he's just like na 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 na, and he's just sort of looking around na na, and it gets to the end and he smiles. He goes, "Batman," and then you turn the page and Batman's like swooping into the scene. It's glorious.
It's when Joker's written like this, I have issues with people, not like actual issues where I'm like, no, you're wrong. It makes me wonder about that person, where they're just like, oh, Joker's my favorite Bat villain, and I'm just like, do you have a favorite serial killer too? Like, how do we break this down, man? Because this is just straight up brutal. This entire scene in the church.
That's why he's a good villain.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I guess that's just me.
The fact that you can...
I thought you were going to go with the people who, that image of, when you grow up you think Batman's right, and then you get older and you realize Joker's
right. They're morons.
The Dark Knight.
They're morons.
I thought that's what you were going with when you started that.
No. I just because I have friends who's like, oh yeah, there's no other better villain than Joker, and like I can understand that. That's like that, but when you're like, oh yeah, he is like my favorite, like I'm just like, makes me feel a little bit sketchy being around you with a knife, man. Because sometimes Joker can be written not scary, like when he's more Mark Hamill-y from the animated series. Here I still hear the Mark Hamill voice, but it's so much darker. Like,
oh, that's just super dark. When Batman shows up, he grabs the one survivor as a hostage, and he's like, don't move an inch, or I'll... And then before he finishes his sentence, he accidentally shoots the person in the head.
So he's using the president's negotiating strategy.
Yeah.
Where you just shoot the hostage.
Carr's about to complain and tell us that he didn't like the issue. He's got that look in his face. I know what he looks like.
No, I mean, I like the way the Joker's written. I just, the issue didn't really work for me.
Here we go.
I think it's just the lack of Batman ever saying anything, the lack of response.
Oh no, I like that he's quiet all issue.
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't play with me for what Batman is, or especially King's Batman. It just doesn't track for me.
The way that I read that as any type of reaction you give the Joker, he's going to feed off of it. If you yell at him and yell Joker no, or if you get on him and like you're not going to get away with this.
See, I'd agree with that, but then there are points where he sits down to he kneels down to pray with him. He still gives him what he wants.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, all the chaos, and I can't believe I'm sticking up for Batman here. Like all the chaos and carnage that Joker's. If Batman can still stop him from killing himself, which, look, I'm going to be petty. Again, if I'm Batman in this, I just let Joker shoot himself. Right? But that's why I'm not Batman.
That's true. Also, you didn't watch your parents be murdered when you were 9, so, I mean, that's another thing.
Exactly. So, you know what I mean? So, the fact that he does, and it shows, like, even all of that evil, chaotic stuff that Joker's done, Batman still has a sense of compassion. Like, well, I can't let him kill himself in front of me, Like, so he does go along with it. And then we get that great, which I did laugh, when there's an explosion and he goes, oh, yeah, I forgot I put a bomb in the cross.
Yeah, I have a question on that. Was that a bit of an art error? Because there's no cross. The only cross is...
Yeah, but I think it's off screen. I think it's meant to be the cross at the top of the church.
Right. But my point is, I'm looking at it, from all the panels before, because I went back. Yeah. And the only cross round there is the one in painted in the stained glass window. There is no physical cross. It really confused me because that took me way over. I had to go back like pages just to look back there and like, no, it's just a stained glass window. There isn't a cross.
Yeah.
I think that's just an art error where he just forgot to put in a physical cross for whatever reason.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I can't.
Do you know the funny thing is you're technically right. I still think it's a weird complaint.
I mean, it dragged me out of the issue because I'd noticed the stained glass cross because I thought, oh, that was gorgeous. That piece on the window with Joker kneeling in front of it with the gun to his head, which is why I noticed it so heavily. And then like 2 pages later, he's like, oh yeah, there was a bomb in the cross. I was like, what? Well, how?
Maybe that's all he meant. Maybe he just meant he put a bomb at the window.
He goes, I don't know. He goes, I thought it'd be, I don't know, funny. Like that made me laugh.
I was far too in the story to even. I just assumed, yeah, it's a church, so of course there's a cross there. I didn't even think about it.
I know, but that's why it bothered me because it was like there's no cross. It really stuck out to me.
I'm still not gonna like. I still feel it works in the moment because he did just like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you there was a bomb. So,
if it said that, oh, there was a bomb in the altar, which is right in front of them, sure, but I don't know. It got to me a little.
But I like that there's that running thread about after that about what love is. That love is life, love is the true north, and all that about the story of St. Augustine and whatnot. And then it goes to Catwoman, and we'll see her in the next issue deal with Joker.
Catwoman's been told to stay behind, and she's like sort of mocking him, going like, yeah, right. Not happening. Yeah. Actually, my favourite thing is that all this is going on, and the Joker's not actually gotten to the point where he said why he's doing all this, and it's after they kneel down, he says amen. He just turns and says, am I your best man? Like he's basically been building up the courage to ask that question.
Yeah,
that's essentially what's happening here. I was into this. This is exactly the right mix of psycho and classic Joker that I enjoy. With the random killing of people. Batman being quiet for me works so well because a lot of King's characters speak in such stilted dialogue. I feel like the one exception so far has been the Joker, where the Joker will just stand there and monologue because he's the Joker and he loves the sound of his own voice.
Yeah.
And for me, the contrast between that and Batman staying silent works for me quite a bit. So.
I agree that I like the Joker's voice. I said this during the DC Nation preview that we got. I really like King's Joker, but I feel like it's the lack of any sort of response, the lack of playing off of it, and it's just monologuing that kind of ruins the issue a bit for me. I felt myself like, yeah, I'm enjoying this side of it, but I feel like I'm only getting half of what I want.
See, that's weird. To me, it was stronger because Batman wasn't responding. This is the thing. What you're saying is that your complaint is that exactly why I thought it worked so well. Is because
it just didn't work for me.
Because Joker didn't need someone to play off of him. He would just find a way to keep going because he's a Joker.
No, I get that, but I just feel like it just felt weird for Batman to not respond because he always responds to the Joker at some level. He does something. Here it's just nothing. And the one word he does say is amen with the prayer. That felt really weird for me to be like, okay, no, that's the bit he goes with. It's like, okay, I won't give him the satisfaction, but I'll sit down and pray with him. It just didn't play for me.
I don't know if I actually agree with he always reacts to the Joker. Like he always says things. I don't know if I agree with that assessment. I
don't think I've ever seen him go this long and extended sequence without saying anything to him.
To me, it kind of felt like the extension of like we don't want to say the wrong thing to the person who might hurt someone. So you try and choose your words carefully. This was like the almost the extreme version of that, where Batman's just going to be quiet. He's just going to have his presence, and come at him. Also, I laughed quite a bit at after Joker accidentally kills his hostage. Where he's like, "Oh no, now Batman's going to be violent. He's going to be very violent."
Mm-hmm.
Also, when he shoots Batman, as he takes Batman as a hostage, but he's got the Kevlar. Before that, he's like, "All right, if you're dead, raise your hands and say I'm dead."
Yeah, I did love. I don't know which one it is, but I think either King or Janin is a fan of Archer, the show, because I was thinking that whenever a gun goes off near their ear, they grab the ear and go, "Mwah," make that noise, like because they can't hear properly. But and Batman does that exact action, like following the gunshot on his head, and I can picture the "mwah" coming out of his mouth. I'm like, okay, that was probably my favorite moment.
A weird possible reference to Archer. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm convinced.
Also,
you're weirdo.
The batarang sliced Joker, right?
It did, because he digs it out of his face, and then there's just no cut for the rest of the issue.
So this is still Dionysium Joker then?
Yeah, I suppose so. Because I was thinking whether it was an art mistake or not, but that tracks. I forgot about that.
Yeah, rate the book. Let's rate the book then. Batman 48. Matt, what are you giving it?
This is an 8 out of me.
Connor?
I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, that's worth. I'm going 8.5. I'm inching up a little bit. I was into this. It caught me. Like as soon as that first time he like shoots the hostage, and you turn to the double page spread, and you just hear the shot. I was like, oh, okay, that worked. Like I'm into the atmosphere of this already.